YouTube? It's your boy Greg back again with another video. If you're new to this channel, we talk about fragrance related topics, so if there's something that you're interested in, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you'll be notified every single time I upload. Alright guys, so today I have a review for you guys, and it's a review on a fragrance that I feel is one of the best fragrances that I've ever smelled. It's not the best, but it's one of the best fragrances that I've ever smelled. This fragrance right here is a fragrance that I've took a minute to pick up because I was actually looking for a specific size and a specific batch. And I actually found it for a decent price, and it's none other than Bois Du Portugal. So this right here is a fragrance that is from the house of Creed. It's a fragrance that I've really enjoyed over the years, but like I said, I couldn't find it in this size, which is the 4-ounce bottle. For you guys who don't know, I'm always in a hunt for these 4-ounce bottles when it comes to Creed. If I can't find it, I mean, I'll settle for the newer bottles. But enough about that. Let's go ahead and talk about this fragrance right here. So what I'm gonna do right now, as usual, I'm gonna give you the note breakdown, and then I'm gonna tell you what I'm actually getting out of this fragrance. So the note breakdown in this fragrance is very simple. It's bergamot at the top. In the middle, you got lavender, and then at the base, you got sandalwood, you got cedar, you got vetiver, and then you got ambergris. So with this fragrance right here, I'm gonna tell you right off the bat, it's one of the most classic gentlemanly fragrances that you're going to smell out there. Now with that being said, it's not going to be a fragrance that's for everybody. You really have to be into that classic gentleman, you know, not dated, but kind of more of a, you know, more mature guy type of fragrance. Some people may say this is something that your grandpa will wear or your pops will wear, but to me, I feel like if you're kind of on that upscale level, or even if you're just going to an event that's an upscale event, this would definitely fit that criteria. Now, as far as the note breakdown, it does have the bergamot up top. Now, to me, I do definitely get a citrus vibe, kind of like a fresh and bright citrus vibe up top. It's not as strong. It's not like a lemony type of citrus vibe, anything like that. It's just kind of in a mix of things to kind of give this fragrance a little bit of brightness, but it is kind of spicy up top. It does have a lot of spice, actually. I'm not gonna say kinda. It has a lot of spice up top, but I didn't see any pepper or anything like that in this. Now, that spiciness, that edginess could be coming from that lavender, which is really prominent in this one. This fragrance does have a simple note breakdown, and honestly, this fragrance does come off very complex, very deep, very rich, but at the same time, it is simple. You're getting that lavender, and you're getting that sandalwood, and you're getting that vetiver. Now, let me tell you this. When you first put this on, like I said, you're getting that brightness from that bergamot, but then it does have that spiciness that's in a mix of things. You do have that lavender, which I believe is kind of giving it that spiciness, just a hint of spiciness, and it's giving it somewhat of a powderiness, right? But it's not like a rough spiciness. It's kind of like just a fresh spiciness. It's not going to really offend you or anything like that, but it is there. Like I said in the beginning, if you're not into, you know, the old-timey, maybe you can call it barbershop-y type of fragrances, but with an actual authentic classic vibe to it, you're not going to probably like this. But if you're into those things, for my niche heads out there, I feel like this would be something that you would really enjoy. But back to what I'm getting out of this. Now, from the top to the mid, remember I said it's bright, it is kind of sweet, it does have that spiciness, it does have somewhat of a smoothness as it starts to dry down. But then that smoothness starts to kind of taper away, the sweetness kind of starts to taper away, and then that vetiver really starts to make itself prominent. Now, the lavender is still there, right? The lavender is from the top to the mid all day long. That's what you're going to get. That's what I feel this fragrance is really centered on, is that lavender. But that vetiver note on my skin, it really protrudes like a lot. So if you're not a fan of vetiver, you're not probably going to like this. I have a 2016 batch, which to me is just, you know, you really can't go wrong with the older batches. You know, Creed does have a bad rep for these newer batches, but I'm not going to get into that. But just know that this particular batch does perform well. The lavender and the vetiver really does make itself well known. Even right now, I'm smelling this, and that vetiver is really just pushing through. But that spiciness is still there. That sweetness is still there. It's still even got somewhat of that brightness that's there. And that lavender is going to be there. The lavender is not going anywhere. But I just sprayed this test strip, guys. So, you know, it's still fresh, still bright, still sweet. You know, everything is still doing this thing. But during that deep dry down, guys, I'm telling you that vetiver really starts to make itself well known. Now, as far as the performance, I'm getting like beyond beast mode with this thing right here. Like beyond beast mode, guys. I'm telling you, like, I remember I put this on my hand just to kind of give it a test run, kind of remind myself of it. And I'm telling you, I washed my hand twice. I took a shower and I could still smell it on my skin. Like, no lie. This stuff right here is strong. So you definitely want to go easy on that trigger, or you're going to choke yourself out. You're going to choke everybody around you out. It's a good fragrance, but it needs to be worn, you know, in moderation. Just very little, maybe 3 sprays, maybe 4 sprays, but don't go past 4 sprays with this one right here. As far as the newer batches, I have smelled it, but I'm not too familiar with them. I'm more familiar with this one, but those still have the same scent. I will say this, the newer batches are not as strong as the older batches, but that's okay. You know, if you like the fragrance, go ahead and purchase it. You know, I know, you know, the whole batch thing and whatever the case may be, but me personally, I just like having the 4-ounce bottles. If they didn't have this option, I wouldn't mind just buying the options that they have now. But like I said, the performance is great. It's beyond great. It's amazing, actually. And you're gonna get, you know, all day, all night, literally all day, all night. As far as when to wear this fragrance, you have to really dress this fragrance up. This is not a fragrance that you're just gonna put on and put some shorts on and a t-shirt or anything like that. No, you can't do that with this fragrance. You have to really dress yourself up. And I'm talking about tuxedo, suit, tie, nice shoes, nice belt. I'm talking about from head to toe. You gotta be decked out, man. This is an upscale, classic, luxurious fragrance. When you walk in the building and you wearing this, you're going to steal the show. Okay, I'm just letting you know. A lot of people are not going to be wearing Bois Du Portugal. And when you walk in a building and you wearing this and you dressed in that tux, got a clean cut and all that going on, man, I'm telling you, everybody is going to notice you. You're going to steal the show. People are going to want to know who you are. That's what this fragrance is going to do. But you got to pair it with a nice outfit, man. You can't go out there dressing like you finna go play basketball or go grocery shopping with this, man. You got to dress like you really about the business, like you really a boss, man, because this fragrance right here is a boss fragrance. It's a very boss, manly, masculine fragrance, man. And I'm telling you, this is one of Creed's best offerings. Now, I had a previous video where I said Royal Oud was my favorite from the House of Creed. It's my #1, and it still is. But this one right here is #2 because it's one of the most daring, one of the most unique, one of the most outstanding fragrances from the House of Creed. I am so happy to have this in my collection, y'all. I'm so happy to have it in my collection. All right, so that's gonna wrap up this video. If I left anything out, I apologize. If you smell Bois Du Portugal, whether it's the older batch or the newer batch, I would love for you to go down in that comment section. Let me know what you think about it. Do you think it's one of Creed's best offerings? Do you feel it's one of the best classic fragrances out there? Because I do. I feel like if you're a classic gentleman and you got this stuff together and you really a boss, man, I'm telling you, Bois Du Portugal is for you. And if you think otherwise, then go ahead and let me know in the comment section as well. I would really love to know what you guys think about this fragrance. All right, so if you liked the video, go ahead and give your boy a thumbs up, and that's it. Take care. Peace.